Season 2, Episode 5, Sisterhooves Social. For this episode, the title of main character belongs to Rarity and her sister Sweetie Belle. I'm Count Lurchlot, and this is Lukewarm Television. The episode begins with Rarity waking up in a panic as she smells smoke coming from her kitchen. Turns out, this was just Sweetie Belle who wanted to make her breakfast in bed. She's a better younger sibling than I am. I don't think I ever did this for my sisters. We are then introduced to Rarity's parents, who reveal that they are there because they are going on vacation and need Rarity to look after Sweetie Belle. I'm guessing they go on vacation a lot because throughout the series, Sweetie Belle seems to live with Rarity more than her parents. This isn't very convenient for Rarity as she has a lot to do, but she nevertheless agrees as she knows it's her responsibility as an older sister. After their parents leave, Rarity decides to clean up and recook breakfast because while she appreciates the gesture, she expresses that what Sweetie Belle has cooked is inedible and agrees to cook them a proper breakfast. Sweetie Belle asks if she can help. Rarity says yes, but then she ends up doing everything on her own. The only thing she lets Sweetie Belle do is put the parsley on the eggs. Unfortunately, Sweetie Belle is unable to do this in a way that satisfies Rarity. A part of me is also amazed they eat eggs, but I've seen them eat cakes, which often includes eggs in their recipe. Anyway, overpressured by Rarity's instructions, Sweetie Belle ends up making a bigger mess for them to clean. After they have finished cleaning up, Rarity has to attend to a few things and asks Sweetie Belle to clean the dirty towels. She agrees, and wanting to be helpful, she ends up doing all of Rarity's laundry, which includes a specific sweater. Turns out you weren't supposed to wash this sweater because it's very rare, expensive, and ends up shrinking in the heat of the sun. Rarity's angry, but is able to get herself calm before expressing she has to get back to work, but not before telling Sweetie Belle to stay out of trouble. Sweetie Belle is saddened by this as she just wanted to do something nice for Rarity. I think we all know that feeling. You try to do something nice, but then people get mad at you because you did it wrong. Anyway, wanting to stay out of trouble, Sweetie Belle decides to do some drawing. Unfortunately, she decides to use Rarity's gems in her art. This upsets Rarity because those were rare baby blue sapphires she needed to use to make an outfit for an important client. Yeah, you might want to ask before using stuff like that. Rarity then has to go and get more gems and tells Sweetie if she wants to help, she needs to clean up the mess she has made and then find something to do that doesn't create a mess. Sweetie Belle then wanders into Rarity's office and seeing how much of a mess it is and knowing how much Rarity hates messes, Sweetie Belle decides to clean it. You'd think this would make Rarity happy, but it doesn't. Because turns out she didn't consider it a mess, but organized chaos. She had everything where she wanted it and now she has to start from scratch. Again, while I think it's a nice gesture, you should probably ask before doing something like that. Now completely annoyed, Rarity says she needs some time alone and Sweetie Belle leaves heartbroken. While I do think she should have asked before doing these things, I do feel sorry for Sweetie Belle here because she was only trying to help. She soon runs into Apple Bloom, who upon hearing Sweetie Belle wants to do something special with Rarity, tells her about the Sisterhooves Social, a contest where teams of sisters compete against each other. Apple Bloom and Applejack do it every year. Sweetie Belle thinks it's a great idea, but of course Rarity doesn't because she knows that this kind of contest will require getting dirty. An argument quickly ensues and Sweetie Belle decides she doesn't want a big sister anymore. Rarity decides she feels the same and Sweetie Belle leaves, having decided Rarity is no longer her sister. If either of my sisters are watching this, while I did have times like this as a child, I love you both and I cherish you. Sweetie Belle heads to Sweet Apple Acres where she is comforted by Applejack and Apple Bloom. They tell her Rarity will come around, but Sweetie Belle disagrees. They then ask Sweetie Belle if she wants to help them with their chores, which surprises Sweetie Belle. She quickly becomes amazed, but also angry over the fact that the apples can have so much fun doing chores together when Rarity wants to do nothing together. Back at her boutique, Rarity starts to take in and appreciate Sweetie Belle's work. She appreciates Sweetie Belle's cleaning as it gives her inspiration for a new fashion line. She discovers the sweater Sweetie Belle shrunk now fits her cat Opal, and she thinks it looks perfect on her. Finally, while Rarity is still annoyed that Sweetie Belle took her sapphires, upon seeing the artwork she's made, she realizes she was too hard on her and decides to get her back and never wants to be sisterless again. Meanwhile, Sweetie Belle gets more and more jealous of the relationship between Applejack and Apple Bloom. This includes them doing a chore of mustering sheep into a paddock. However, the sheep are sentient and admit they could have just asked. I've questioned the social standing of cows in this universe. I now have the same question about the sheep.
Way to corral some critters, sis!
You could have just asked.
Rarity finds Sweetie Belle roasting marshmallows with the apples. Rarity sincerely apologizes and acknowledges she's not better off without a sister. Sweetie Belle agrees, but she doesn't want Rarity as a sister. She decides to adopt Applejack as her big sister, much to everyone's shock. She also says that maybe Applejack should be Rarity's sister, so she can learn how a real sister is supposed to act. Never knew Sweetie Belle was such a roaster. Rarity asks Applejack where she went wrong, and Applejack points out that she's only really thinking about herself, and being sisters involves give and take. Rarity's been doing a lot of taking, but not enough giving. I thought she was the element of generosity. Isn't that about giving? Anyway, Applejack's words help Rarity realize what she needs to do. She just hopes it isn't too late. The next day, at the Sisterhooves social race, Apple Bloom lets Sweetie Belle borrow Applejack for the race so she can feel what it's like to do a fun activity with an older sister. They name Applejack a sister for the day. The apples truly are stand-up ponies, but Apple Bloom emphasizes it's only for the day. Applejack and Sweetie Belle run the race with 4 other teams of sisters. Unfortunately, they soon fall behind when Applejack falls in the mud. She emerges, however, and they continue. Sweetie Belle overlooked one important factor though. Applejack has green eyes and the pony who emerged has blue. And trust me, this was deliberate. They race the rest of the race together, and they make a fantastic team, and while they don't come in first, it's still a close race with them coming in second. Sweetie Belle doesn't mind though, because she had a lot of fun. But then we get a shocking reveal after Sweetie Belle knocks off Applejack's hat, revealing a horn. That's right, it wasn't Applejack who ran the race with her, it was Rarity. They switched places when Applejack fell in the mud. This was something they all did together, which brings Sweetie to tears as she's touched that they did this all for her. The two sisters then reconcile, and the episode ends with Rarity writing her lesson to Celestia with Sweetie Belle. They express that while having a sister is great, it isn't always easy, and it takes teamwork, requires compromising and accepting differences, but most of all, it's about having fun together. This then leads to an argument on how dirty you can get in doing this, and they compromise on a medium amount. This is another episode I relate to heavily because I'm also the youngest sibling to older sisters, and look, I won't lie, our relationship was never perfect. We argued a lot, and there were moments we couldn't stand each other. But when it came to the important stuff, we were always there for each other, and we're much closer now that we're all adults. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next review.